Hello, and welcome back to the casual tutorial. We just killed monkeys, and now we've got a few things to do, some detours to make. So let's go ahead and get started. It was me. I was behind the girl. Anyway, nice. So first thing, actually, we're gonna go to. We do have a gourd seed. You could go use the gourd seed right now if you wanted. I'm not gonna bother. We're basically going to go down sort of what amounts to like a side path for us. We're gonna go right before another boss, and then we're actually gonna detour and go do a different boss. Because that way is gonna be the best in terms of like how many beads and stuff we get. And also it's gonna give us a lot of sen. It's gonna give us some buffs and stuff. And then we will return and do the actual boss here. So this is Lone Shadow down here. You could walk down and just fight him, but if you come from up here, you can actually get a death blow on him. A stealth death blow. So I'm gonna actually show you a Mortal Draw strat here first. Because with Mortal Draw, you can actually just like combo him to death. And so considering that, I'm going to show that. And this is actually a good introduction to Mortal Draw. So if you forgot about what I explained in the last part, if you jump and do Mortal Draw, you get extra damage on the first hit in your combo. So with Mortal Draw, what we can do is we can walk off, stealth death blow, jumping double Mortal Draw, firecracker, double Mortal Draw. And it basically kills him. If you get the dead angles, which dead angle means you're hitting them so that they don't block, which is another thing with Mortal Draw. But I'll show it again. So with Mortal Draw, if you like kind of turn to the left and then hit with like the side of the hitbox, or like turn to the left and then turn back to the right as the Mortal Draw is coming out to face him, you can actually hit him without having him block or parry you, which is going to give you more damage and is going to let you just completely end him in 4 hits. So notice the way that I'm facing. 1, 2, firecracker. 1, 2, like so. But even if you don't get the dead angle, as you saw the first time, you still get a lot of damage out of it. So you could still kill him pretty easily this way. Now I'll show you like the normal, like fighting him without Mortal Draw basically, and the way that his combos basically work. Our damage is really good anyway, so it's not a very difficult fight. That jump will usually be followed up by a sweep like that. You can kick him. This combo, you wait and then Mikiri on the last hit. Or you can also just hit him to interrupt the last hit. So I'll do it again. So this time I'm actually not going to take the stealth death blow, just so you can see me deal with more of his combos. And I also won't do the Mikiri. Just want him to do the kick. Not that one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can just hit him. So if you're not comfortable timing the Mikiri, since it's delayed, you can just do an R1 after that, the 4th hit of the combo anyway. And then you don't have to worry about timing anything. There is one more strat that I can show that's a cheese strat. I don't know, it's not that difficult. It's also not that much easier, I don't think, than just like doing Mortal Draw plus firecrackers or even the intended way. But for the sake of completeness, I will show the cheese. So for the cheese, we're going to take the stealth death blow. Run over to this corner. Double jump. Try to R1 him on the way down like that. Didn't quite get him perfectly in the corner, but you can kind of correct it like that. And then just R1 like that. So that's another form of dead angling. It's like dead angling with the R1. Dead angling without a corner cheese is like tends to be harder than just doing the fights, I think. But sometimes with the corner cheese, it's pretty easy. That one, the tough part is just getting him in the corner. But you'll probably get it within a few tries if you'd rather do that than just fight him. With the level and attack power that we're at this point in the tutorial, I would recommend, honestly... Oh yeah, there's a big 1000 sen right there, which is cool. But at this level you're at in the tutorial, I'd recommend if you really want to just cheese him, just do Mortal Draw instead to kill. I think you're going to have an easier time than trying to do the cheese. Because there's slightly different things he can do when you get him in the corner. I don't really think it's easier. Okay, now this is another fight that people struggle a lot with casually. Oh, which is Snake Eyes. She has a grab attack in particular that people have a lot of difficulty with, and I will show you how to deal with that. First, I'm going to show the Mortal Draw strat. Then I'll show like kind of the more intended strat. There is a corner cheese. I don't recommend the corner cheese because if you're doing the corner cheese on Snake Eyes, she can still grab. And grab is the part of the fight that people find hard anyway. So the fact that the cheese doesn't even let you skip the grab, I don't really think it's useful casually. Like, again, the path of least resistance is probably just going to be Mortal Draw strats here. But first of all, there's a gunman here. There's, like, gunmen littered throughout the room, but if you follow the pathing that I'm going to do, then, like, this is the only gunman that's going to see you anyway when you're fighting Snake Eyes. So you can just dodge off the edge and death blow him like so. Then grapple. Grapple. Then you just crouch, come up behind her, like so. And I'm going to start with jumping Mortal Draw, and then I'm going to do double Mortal Draw, parry, and then right into Mortal Draw. Parry, right into Mortal Draw. And she's already dead. So the key to that, so like you do have to parry, but you only have to parry one attack, and she tends to do that same attack. The key to getting the timing is that you parry, and then like you want to hold the parry button down, and then like once she bounces off of your sword, then just hit R1 to go directly into Mortal Draw, instead of like letting go of parry and then hitting parry plus R1 to do Mortal Draw. Just hold and then add R1. So it takes like a little bit of muscle memory, but not too much. And as you can see, she dies really fast when you do that. So I'll show the Mortal Draw strat one more time, and then I'll show like the intended way. You do want to push her into this corner for the Mortal Draw strat though, otherwise she can backstep and do other things. So you see she did do like one other attack. She did a more delayed swing on the other side. So like you do have to learn to parry like a couple attacks. But they're fairly consistent, and yeah, she dies very quickly. So still very, very much recommend this strat. Just get used to parry and then press R1 while still holding parry. So you need to like commit to your parry, basically. Like, you might still be able to do it if you let go and then like that, but ideally you just want to get used to that smooth parry into Mortal Draw animation, and that'll help a lot. So now I'm going to do basically the intended no Mortal Draw way to do the fight. So you could always start off with a backstab just like before, but I'm not going to backstab her here, just so you can see more of her combos, so I'm just going to hit her. So that's the parry timing on the grab. It's when she extends her gun out like that, and then it's when she pulls back on the gun that the hitbox actually comes out. So like optimally, you want to parry that, but casually, if you just want to like back out whenever she does the grab, that is totally a viable strat and probably recommended if you're just trying to beat the game. Because see, you get a lot more... Like, it's a lot easier to time. Because if you fail the block... Like, if you fail the parry and just get a hard block instead, she'll grab you. And you'll just... I think even with this amount of health, you'll get one shot by it. The grab does a lot of damage. But anytime you see her starting up the grab, you could just run away. Just dodge out and run away. Especially if you've got her, like, pinned kind of in this corner. Just run away. That would be my casual recommendation. And then you can run back in. And that's the only perilous attack she has. So anytime you see that, there's no mix-up. Like, anytime you see that symbol, you could just run away. And that's probably the easiest way to deal with it casually. And then we're going to run up to the side here. Wall kick up here. Up on top of this head is another bead, which puts us at 4. So again, this is part of the reason we come here first, before we go do the actual next boss we're going to do, because we can get some extra stuff. Like beads and some money as well, which will come in handy. I'm just running through. Grab this idol if you want for later. I'm in the habit of grabbing it for speedruns. Run past the chicken. You can also go along the left here, but there is 3 Yasha sugars here. So Yashas are sugars kind of like Akos. Yasha sugars give you twice as much of a buff as Akos do, so a 25% damage boost instead of 12.5. But at the cost of cutting your HP and your posture in half. So they can be kind of difficult. You need these snap seeds for later here. They can be kind of difficult to use casually, but we use them a lot for speedruns. They're valuable, so if you want to try them, like, you know, that's where they are. I won't be showing strats that use them because they're difficult to use. So the intended way is to shimmy along that ledge. You can also, like, grapple up here. There's a mini-boss over here. I don't recommend fighting him right now. He's kind of annoying. You can just run around to the right past him there and kind of continue along the path. That's like the intended way. In speedruns, what we do is, since we actually just need to get up on top of this building here. So you can hop up on this ledge and then jump kick onto this branch and then jump up here. And then that's the mini-boss we need to kill next. I don't think this one's too hard, especially, like, as you can see, no one's really bothering me here. These guys are all hostile, but they have a very short aggro range. The key to doing this jump is just aiming for the thick part of the branch here, because the visual here is deceptive. If you see, if I walk slightly too far, you see there's, like visually it looks like there's more branch there, but there's, like, no collision there. It's, like, super... If you look in the collision viewer, this is like a cone that sticks out just to, like, here. The rest of those branches aren't real. And then, yeah, and then you just jump. You can even do, like, a kick against the ledge there if you need to. But then, like, the even easier way to do that is you run back here. You look for this tree, kick, like, behind this tree, and then you can hit this grapple point. So that detour to the side would let you out here, but we can just grapple on that tree down there, like I just did. And then you come around and hop over here. Now you can get a stealth death blow on this guy from above. It really doesn't matter. This is a... Like, I could just let him aggro. Like, this guy has barely any attacks. The hard part is supposed to be getting to him, and then you just wail on him. So it doesn't really matter if you get the death blow. It's just like, do you have to R1 him to death like twice or just once? So no issues there. Another Yasha. And then that opens the way forward into Mibu Village here. There's a pellet back there. I'm just skipping it, but you could pick that up. There's an idol if you want to grab an idol. I'm just going to run straight to the next one. This is Mibu Village. All these guys will continuously respawn. There's also hands that will pop out of the ground and grab you, but you do want to grab this gourd seed. I'll show the grab. Preferably in a place where I won't die for it, but... And then, so you want to mash like L1 and R1 to break out of that grab quicker. Like you see me thrashing, that's me hitting L1 and R1. See, I'm stuck there longer if I don't hit L1, R1. So that's the main thing to know about that grab, is you do want to mash L1, R1 to break out of it. That's like a thing in a lot of Souls games, but it's very inconsistent which grabs you can break like that and which grabs you can't break. Now grab that idol for later. You do want that idol. And then we're just going to grab a Divine Grass that's over here. This, again, is a full heal item that also removes status. But they're also worth 300 cent apiece, so you can use these to sell as well. They're pretty worth it for that reason. Then we want to go through this house. You could just, like, crawl under here. And then eventually there's a shinobi door. It puts you up in the building. But I'll show the speedrun strat. It doesn't really skip anything, but you can kick along there and just hop over. It's probably not intended because there's like there's a 100 sen right here. It's probably not intended because the way this branch collision is shaped is like not natural. It's like just like a wall. But they also don't really care that badly because you're not like skipping much. But an easier way to do that is if you fall into the water, you can like jump and wall kick back and then hit this grapple. So like in speedruns, that's what we would do. Then I'm going to grab this Divine Confetti. Again, this is a consumable. It's going to give you a 20% damage buff to the damage you do to enemies' health. So it doesn't buff your posture damage. So it's not that useful on a lot of like normal fights, but there's like a whole section of optional mini-bosses that you basically need confetti to do damage to. So they're kind of a valuable pickup for that reason. So I'll show you some places where you can get them. But yeah, we're not going to be doing any strats with them. And then there's yet another bead up here. And 500 sen. And so that's all we want from this area for now. So we're actually going to warp back to Shrine. Yeah, so we've got like one gourd seed here. You can go use that with Emma if you want by either just warping to Kuro's room or going through this passage here that takes you up to Kuro's room as well. I'm just going to enhance physical attributes. And then I guess I already showed, but you can buy a gourd seed from that guy as well there. But it looks like I already bought it, so. And then from there, we'll be heading to Harada, so now we can finally continue on this way. And go do the mini-bosses and Butterfly here. But I think I will actually cut this episode off here. So it's been fun. Hope you had fun collecting some items, fighting some mini-bosses, and I will see you guys in the next one.